On this episode of DC on Screen, we're in real trouble because we have almost no news, which means it's going to be a 4-hour episode.
I think you were about to say money, and immediately I was like, yeah.
We have no money
too.
Either. Anyway, we've got some trailers. We've got a little Suicide Squad news right after this.
You think of Earth as a singular planet. In fact, it is anything but. For this is a story not of a universe, but a multiverse, where universes and planets, such as Earth, were replicated and mirrored across a vibrating, infinite plane. Some barely different from the next. Others drastically so.
This is DC On Screen. Every week, Dave and Jason talk about the multiverse of DC properties on film and television. But be warned, if it's been officially released, you can expect they'll spoil it.
Welcome into DC on Screen. I haven't checked the number, so I don't know. I'm your host, David C. Robertson. This my co-host, Jason Goss.
Hello.
We are really flying by the seat of our asses tonight.
It's been a long few weeks.
It has.
And we wanted to make sure we got in with a good news episode before we start doing a ton of reviews, because everything's about to end.
Everything's about to end. We've got a ton of reviews coming up.
It's May.
You know what? I just started a new job working with you, actually. Mm-hmm. But that means I have two jobs, two day jobs, or really a day job and a night job now. And
right. So we're still trying to shift all that out. It'll get shifted.
Mm-hmm. So bear with us. Rawr.
We'll get it sorted.
That was the growl of the grizzly bear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was going to glaze over that, but as an apology, we will be making sure going forward that Dave gets more sleep and makes less bear puns.
Uh-huh. At the very least, I know
goal.
that I have the right to bear arms.
Jesus Christ. Just shut it down. I'm not even sure we should do this.
Nope. We're knee deep now.
I really want to make a joke about you putting those kinds of jokes in a hibernative mode, but yeah.
I was gonna say the situation looked grisly.
It does. Damn it, man! This is starting to hurt.
Oh, sorry.
The pain is real.
I guess on that we're just polar opposites, huh?
Mm-hmm. 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 I'm going to kill you when I see you next.
See you tomorrow, buddy.
See you at about 7. Schedule that for about 7:03.
Uh-huh.
That's not true. I'll be 10 minutes late to work. So 7:13.
I didn't want to say anything. Yeah. All right. So I guess second up, since we've had a number of bear puns here, mm-hmm. And if you have a bear pun, feel free to contribute over on Twitter at DC on Screen or wherever. DConscreen@gmail.com if you just really have to get out a bear pun.
Right. Yeah.
I'll enjoy it at the very least. Jason will pretend he did not enjoy it, but deep down, the worse it is, the more he will enjoy it.
Yeah, this is also true.
Second up, so we want to thank our patrons. Mm-hmm. These are the amazing people who were throwing their shekels our way to ensure that we put out a quality product and to make sure we know we're loved, and we do know we're loved. We have a new patron, Nerdy-tastic. She has been a listener, maybe almost since the beginning.
Quite some time.
Fantastic person, always a fun follow on Twitter. And thank you so much, Nerdy-tastic. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Without all of you, this would be unbearable.
So we just started doing the patron thing. So are you saying it's been unbearable for almost 4 years?
That tracks, actually.
We'll edit that part out. I'm just kidding. We won't. We won't at all. I believe we're well known for not editing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
It's a specialty.
Let's get on to some of this news here. Mm-hmm. Jared Leto was talking to Variety, and there was some bullshit in there about how he thinks the DC films have been as successful as the Marvel films. I don't want to talk about that. What I do want to talk about is the fact that he did tell them, I would definitely play the Joker again. It all depends on the script and the circumstances, as it always does. that doesn't sound like it's really a lot of news, and it's really not. But you know what? I have been curious because everyone's been wondering, will he come back and do the Joker? Will he not come back? Like, we got the sense that he was unhappy with Suicide Squad and with what kind of, or how much footage wound up on the cutting room floor. Yeah. So I think it's, worthy
he
of. He
didn't leave you thinking that it was just a glowing experience for him.
Yeah, but it's Jared Leto, so.
Yeah, I know. Well, but
I don't think he would.
He mentioned a couple of things, like he really enjoyed the production part. You could tell he loved working with everybody, or fucking with them at least. And then in the stuff that happened after in post, after he actually saw it, I think he was a little unhappy with. And then,
well, he didn't see it.
Yeah, infamously didn't even see it. But you got the sense that he wasn't entirely happy. And then he went dark. Like, this is the first time we really heard him say anything about it in a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he gets immersed in his roles. So it was like he did, Joker, and then it was like character from Blade Runner, and what now is it? What was it? Morbius? I know it looked like he had grown his beard out and everything. He was doing another tour or something. I don't follow.
I know he was
Jared
touring
Leto
because he came nearby. I saw that somewhere.
I am so on his Joker. I'm not a Jared Leto fan. I know I acknowledge that he's a good actor. Never cared about him. I just don't. So.
I did like his. There are things I would have changed, but
yeah,
I did like it.
I'm just on the fence. I could see more of him. I could not.
Yeah, that's right where we left you like 2 years ago.
Yep. So keeping in line with the Suicide Squad, and that's not to say that I think Joker's going to be in the new Suicide Squad, or the Suicide Squad as they're calling it. Mm-hmm. But James Gunn says that they are in pre-production on the Suicide Squad. And he says, I am enormously excited about it. He says the film is not set to start filming until later this year. Now, we do know that remember that list that came out a few months ago or a couple months ago, that list of squad members, and everyone was like, well, this is either really odd or completely bogus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Turns out it was just really odd, because it looks like they've... Variety is reporting they've cast Ratcatcher, the female Ratcatcher that we talked about. Mm-hmm. And I don't know who this person is. Daniela Melchior, maybe?
I didn't either.
Yeah, she's been like in almost nothing. So, and definitely nothing I've seen.
All right, we're just going to have to trust Gunn on that one, because I got nothing.
But here's an interesting bit. They've also cast Polka Dot Man.
That was the one where I thought, if we actually see casting on this, I'm willing to buy the rest of it.
Yeah, and... here's the bit. He wears a suit. It's covered in spots. They're multicolored spots. He can peel them off, use them for any number of reasons, any number of things. Weapons. He can make a portal. He can fly away on one of them.
Cool. All right,
it's ridiculous.
They're doing the cool version of Polka Dot Man.
That's just Polka Dot Man. That's all I know.
I seem to remember a much lamer version back in the day.
There probably was. There always is.
There almost invariably is.
But I feel good about the cast. David Dastmalchian.
Yeah, I was iffy on that one. I know him well because he's shown up in several things, and he's 50-50 for me. Like, half the time I love him, and half the time I just don't. It doesn't resonate with me. I don't know. I never know how to predict how I'm going to like this guy.
Okay, I like him, and here's why I say that. I see what you're saying. But I think he is a chameleon, as an actor should be. But he is as good as the production he is in.
Maybe. I mean, Gotham, that wasn't a series of episodes I loved.
He was one of the proto-Jokers. I don't remember his name, but he was like a dude who was following Jerome.
Mm-hmm. He was during the Faceless era.
Uh-huh.
That wasn't a role I loved. Whereas in Ant-Man, lovely.
Yeah, Kurt in Ant-Man, he was great.
He was lovely.
Abracadabra in The Flash, he was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he was fun there.
He was a lot of fun.
Like I said, you could go through his entire IMDb, and I'd probably be 50-50. If you just...
And about half the people I knew, when they saw him as the Joker thug in Dark Knight, thought he was Cillian Murphy.
Really?
Or Cillian Murphy, whatever his name is. Yeah, they thought he was Scarecrow.
Wow.
I have to admit, he kind of looks a little like him.
I mean, there's some favoring
in that scene.
There's some favoring there, but I'd have to be pretty drunk.
Well, he was young, and it was dim lighting, to be fair.
Yeah, but he was already a face I'd seen before. As a character actor, I'd already seen his face before. He registered as another entity than Cillian Murphy.
So, yeah, I'm down with him being Polka Dot Man. I think he's got the stripe for it, man. I think he does.
I'm not against it.
I think he is good enough. I've seen him do enough turns. Like every time he's cast in something, I'm like, oh man, I don't want to see that guy again. Why is he in every comic book thing? And then it's something else. And I'm like, you know what? I could have Abracadabra and Dude from Gotham standing in the same room and I wouldn't even know it's the same dude. Like I would buy it.
Yeah.
I might go, they kind of have a passing resemblance.
I'll make you a bet though. I think they go subtle with him on his acting on this.
Maybe.
I think they go subtle.
I could deal with that.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of scenery chewing. I think they're going to kind of give him the role and let his face do the telling.
Mm-hmm.
He does have a descriptive face. If you just let it play, it can make a new thing.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so TV. Lucifer season 4 drops tonight on Netflix. Did you know that?
I did. Wait, tomorrow. It'll be tonight by the time we air this, though, I'm sure.
Well,
May 8th.
Then it'll be yesterday.
It's May 8th.
Or last night.
May 8th?
By the time we drop it.
May 8th.
All right.
It's the only part I'm sure about.
Well, it's dropping tonight, May 7th. So if we drop the show the next day, it will have been last night, May 7th.
I insist it's dropping on May 8th. I don't know why.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 a.m., May 8th. Says tomorrow and 2. Yeah, May 8th.
Oh, it's 2 a.m.? Okay.
Yeah, it's tonight in a colloquial sense.
In a colloquial sense, yeah. All right.
Well,
so anyway,
got that sorted.
Yeah. They dropped this season 4 trailer. It really doesn't look like any different of a show.
I saw a couple things peppered in that I thought, and Tom Ellis as much as said in an interview that I caught today that it's not going to be drastically different. Mm-hmm. He said, this is the product that people liked, so we're going to keep doing that for the most part. Right. But he also said we're going to be able to push the edges a little bit more than we were able to on network TV, so a little more nudity. Mm-hmm. He said especially from Lucifer. We're going to get a little bit of Lucifer ass. That's what we're going to get.
Yeah.
And what else? Oh, yeah. He said we may hear a spare word here and there that we wouldn't have heard otherwise, which seems reasonable. You go over to Netflix, you're allowed to throw a couple extra expletives out there. Mm-hmm. And he didn't say much about it, but he said there were some story points that they were going to push a little bit further. And I kind of thought, okay, I know you're still going to basically do a procedural with a will they, won't they? And I'm super sick and tired of it. But when I saw the trailer, and there's several points where I thought, oh, great. But
just all of Eve. Everything with Eve.
Most everything with Eve, except as the trailer describes it, she's supposed to unleash true evil. I thought, okay, well, let's do see, there was a little bit of building towards some celestial story there, which I can get behind.
Right.
And I've tried it many ways, and binging Lucifer is much more enjoyable experience than a week-to-week situation.
Yeah.
And it will be all dropped at once. So I don't think we're going to, I mean, we've traditionally not loved this show. Like, we love points of this show a lot, actually, but traditionally it has been pretty boring and week to week and monster of the week and a lot of like hitting the same character trope over and over again for like people not learning lessons and stuff like that. Like the characters not developing, a lot of stuff we bitched about. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to enjoy this one a little bit more, but I think there's still going to be some problems.
Like right up front, I'm like, oh, she doesn't know if she can accept him for who he is, but Eve can. So now he's going to be with Eve for a minute and it's going to make Chloe jealous and all
that. But while they were doing that boring blah, 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 I did see a lot of supernatural fighting and action shots that I haven't seen previously.
Some magical chicanery.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that a little bit.
All right.
Because we only normally got that in the last, 2.5 minutes of the show and no one's around to see it. Now it looks like he's going to not really give a damn and start devil facing when he damn well feels like it for a second. And I'm probably going to enjoy that little arc.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what they will do on Netflix. I will say that.
Yeah.
And I will watch it and we will talk about it after the show. We will do a review.
Mm-hmm. We will. That one will probably not be as soon as normal because every other damn show is finishing up. And then we've got to knock out all the episodes of Lucifer. So that'll probably be 3 weeks-ish. Mm-hmm. Somewhere in there, at least. It'll be at least 3 weeks before it definitely happens. Because, again, every other show is finishing up.
Mm-hmm. And every other show takes precedent over Lucifer.
Yeah, in my heart. It sure does.
All right, so Pennyworth. Epix announced that it was airing its first episode on July 28th at 9 p.m. Eastern.
All right, well.
Where do you sit? Are you still not excited at all?
Yeah, still on the fence. All right, I'm not on the fence. I'm trying to climb up to the part where you sit on the fence, but I'm doing it from the side that's not interested. Like I'm halfway up the fence.
I feel like we lost Gotham, and here's Pennyworth to take its place from the producers that brought you Gotham.
And then abandoned
Damn it. Yeah.
Yeah. The producers of the first 2 seasons of Gotham.
Speaking of producers abandoning a show, well, maybe it's not what happened. I don't know what happened.
Not sure which one you're talking about right now, but I'm curious.
Yeah, something has happened with the production of Swamp Thing.
Oh, yeah. It's not going swimmingly.
It's not.
I didn't mean to do that, by the way.
One could say the production for Swamp Thing hit some murky waters.
Mm-hmm. This cannot be enjoyable for anyone.
Yeah. It's enjoyable for me, Jason.
Well, you do sound like you're enjoying yourself.
That's what this podcast has traditionally been all about, is me enjoying myself and you enjoying yourself. And sometimes we come together and enjoy a thing.
Right. Once in a very blue moon. And
Listener be damned.
Speaking of which, most of the time it's DC Universe stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really excited about doing our Doom Patrol review.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, over on Swamp Thing, like we talked about last time we did a news episode, I think, Virginia Madsen came out and said, oh, they've cut our episodes short, and then they made her take that down. And we don't really know what's going on. A lot of different places are saying it's, creative differences. All we really do know is the situation is quite arcane.
I'm not giving it to you.
But they have finished their production, so they've wrapped.
Yeah.
On the first season. And
the fact that we even have a trailer, which, by the way, I mean, first of all, had to happen and is kind of late by normal standards. I mean, that was something that normally would have been out a minute ago. But the fact that we have one at all means they've kind of chosen, somebody won that battle. Like, production wrapped, trailers out, whatever was going on, somebody finished the argument.
I'm assuming that would be DC Universe.
I assume the people with the money won the argument, because that is often how that goes down. But
yeah, I mean, Virginia Madsen said it was people who had never set foot in the swamp, so.
Yeah.
But if they're not liking what they've got coming in, I mean, this is a business, guys. They are
that's
free to do that. And
that's how that's going to go sometimes.
And judging by the trailer, though, it looks fantastic and weird. It reminds me of Evil Dead in a way that I'm really happy about.
It's got a horror vibe. It's definitely got a horror vibe to it. I mean, my only real, I had several mini thoughts, but my only real overall thematic take on that trailer was, okay, cool. So they're going to have a horror show on DC Universe. Awesome. Yeah,
it looks cool.
It does. That little shot going over the water with the tendrils creeping up out in and out of the water.
Yeah.
Good stuff right there.
Now, I am going to go in with as fresh a mindset as I can when I watch this thing. I'm not going to be like looking out for strange edits that mean that,
No, you can't.
The pencil pushers did a thing.
You can't decipher that kind of stuff. I mean, that every now and then there's something obvious, but you can't really.
Like Justice League. But
I mean, yeah, you can. Every now and then you get a mustache like that, but it's very rare you actually get that telltale sign like that. But for the most part, two things we don't know. One, definitively, if the episodes themselves are directed well enough, edited well enough, and the story overall has enough to say, we won't really know the difference. And two, we don't know what the point of contention was, and we don't know who won the argument. But for all we know, whoever won the argument was right.
That's right.
So, just watch it, see how I like it.
Yeah.
If it's a slogging mess, we'll be like, well, yeah, we heard about some of that. We thought that might be the case.
I have no reason to believe it's a mess right now.
No. I mean, you'll know pretty soon. It hits May 31st. It'll be weekly like everything else is, and like a lot of things, by the end of the first couple hours of it, you'll kind of know how you feel about it.
And look, there are stories out there, and it's funny that I brought up Evil Dead. It reminding me of that, because Evil Dead, Ash versus Evil Dead is one of those situations that perfectly is a perfect example of that happening, where it was like season 2 ended a little weird, and you're like, why? And then like the showrunner comes out and says, well, this will be my last showrunner. They're putting on another show, or they're getting another showrunner, and he's unhappy. He's actively unhappy because Rob Tapert came out and said, or came to him and said, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing your story. We're doing this and this, because your story isn't what I envision for the franchise. And the student is like, oh, well, It's Rob Tapert. I guess he's been there since the beginning. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. When you look at the movie poster, it's right there with Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. And then he's like, well, like, and he starts talking about all the stuff that he was like really proud of in the season and that he had to fight for. And I'm like, those were all the worst bits. Those were all the things that I hated.
Reason should have won the day, and it didn't.
Like, no, I didn't want to watch 20 minutes of Ash running around with a guy's dick hanging off of his chin because his head was literally up the corpse's ass with shit flying everywhere. No, I didn't want to see that.
It was not the most watchable part of that season. No.
There is gore, and then there's just no.
And there's and Evil Dead's done a good job of funny gore throughout the entirety. Yeah. So I get why he thought that was supposed to be there, but conversation for a different day. But yeah, point is sometimes the people putting up a fight should be doing so. Yeah. So we don't know what the deal is with Swamp Thing. And I'll say this as well. If Titans and Doom Patrol is any indication of the DC Universe having a good eye for what they want in a show, all right. I guess I'll trust them so far. Yeah. And until they fail me, I'll trust them. All right. So anyway, I'm willing to give it a shot. That's all I'm saying. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the rest of the DC Universe is treating me well. So And by a shot, I don't mean I'm just going to begrudgingly watch it with all expectations of it being shit. I mean, I'm going to go into it open-minded, and because so far it looks badass. I mean, the trailer looks good, and I mean, he actually looked like physically. I like the character design, and like I said, the rest of their content has treated me so well right now. Yeah, Doom Patrol is fantastic. I mean, there are moments in Doom Patrol where I have literally paused it and looked at the screen and said, "Fuck, what a good show," and just taken a moment and hit play again. Just wanted to take a beat in the middle of it to just ingest it, Yeah, soak it in. All right, so last up, we've got a Krypton Season 2 trailer. What do we think of this thing, Jason? What did you think? Still looks pretty good. It was a few seconds into the trailer before I even remembered where that season had left me. But yeah, once I recalled, he's stuck and Brainiac and all that. Like, to me, it looked like a pretty cluster. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. It may be. It still looks like it's shot as well as the first season. Oh, absolutely. The cinematography looks great. It's just, there are bright colors and lots of craziness going on. Looks like there may be alternate universe versions, because I think that's where the show left us, right? Possibly. So possibly, yeah. I mean, sorry, spoilers if you haven't seen it. We warned you in the intro, but it's been a year and something. Well, Walter Steele still looks great as General Zod. What do you think of Lobo? I dug it. I mean, there's really not much there. We got 2.5 seconds with him. Yeah, I am not used to the Cockney accent. I don't think it was a Cockney accent. Really? It didn't sound that way to me at all. It sounded like Constantine, who had been in America for too long. Like a slightly Americanized version of the Matt Ryan Constantine. It's still British-ish. It's British-ish, but a lot of the show is British-ish. It's really hard to say. Yeah. Why did you do that to me? I know. It's fun, though. My tongue got tired. It's one of the shows where the accents are whatever they are anyway. I'm not really concerned with the accent. Like that being a point of contention for people is completely, I don't get it at all. I wouldn't say it's a point of contention. I wouldn't go anywhere near that deep. I'm just saying I'm not used to it. Yeah, that's fair. But I don't think you should have used to it being more like a main man's gonna kick his red ass all over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still got hints of that in there. Like, especially I forget the first thing he said, but the first thing I remember, just the first thing he says in this trailer, it sounded really Americanized and just kind of like the main man, all that deep metal growl kind of thing. And then the second thing sounded very similar, just with like a slight British twang to it. Yeah, maybe. And he looks good. I'm going to say that part up front. Dude looks great. He does. Yeah, he looks great. I want to see that hook. That was that was actually what I envisioned when I was told Lobo's in the trailer. That was the thing. The shot I was hoping for was like him swinging that hook or something. Yeah, but you know what? I could see it. Like, I kind of wish I mean, he's too old now, but I would have loved to have seen Vinnie Jones play Lobo at some point. Vinnie Jones, help me out. Brick on Arrow. Oh, Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels. Yeah, Snatch. I could go with it, but I think he was in that. I think I like this more. Now, as far as what's going on with the rest of everybody else, it did look like there was a lot of, I mean, let's put it this way. The first Krypton trailer, we had really had no idea what we were in for.
Mm-hmm.
And then now watching season 2's trailer, wildly different story. I mean, there's clearly these characters have got a lot going on. There's going to be a lot of fights, a lot of rebellions. I don't know what they're doing with the astronomical stuff. Like, I don't know what we're doing with space in general, or space-time, or the multiverse, but there's a lot of pieces moving around. And that was the only problem we had whatsoever with season 1, because otherwise it was pretty damn enjoyable.
Yeah.
And it was gorgeous. But every now and then you'd kind of be watching a gorgeous scene and realize, wait, nothing's really happened in like 3 or 4 minutes. It's kind of been 3 or 4 minutes of great symbolic storytelling, but nothing actionable.
I can't complain too much. I think my favorite episode of that entire first season was the House of Zod episode, where it was just like all flashbacks. And just like quiet character pieces.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it was. And it was good, but there were moments where you kind of thought, well, let's tell some story here. Let's get a little bit of story in there. See what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
There looked like a lot of stuff going on here.
Oh yeah, it looks crazy. I'll admit, I'm still like, I'm pretty sure seeing Doomsday knocked my interest level down about 30%.
Why?
I just never care
about Doomsday.
I always want to, and then like even in BVS, which is the Ultimate Edition of BVS is my favorite comic book movie. That's not Road to Perdition.
Yeah, as you've said.
And even when it comes to that Doomsday, I have to be like, it's not Doomsday. It's just Zod. It's General Zod.
I'm good with that, but
like, yeah, I don't know exactly what it is. I just I've never cared too much about Doomsday. I've been interested by his actions at times, not really by what his motivations were, but by the outcome of he's a good plot catalyst, but other than that, I have no interest in the guy. So the fact that, every televised Superman thing wants to shove a Doomsday down my throat at some point, I got nothing for it, man.
I mean, I don't really blame you. This may be as curious as I've normally been about it.
Mm-hmm.
Or as curious as I've maybe ever been about it. Not because it's going to be like an origin. Like, it's Doomsday. He's just a weapon. He doesn't really get an origin story.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he technically has one, but it's boring as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And in this version, I'm not the only reason I actually care in this version is maybe we get to see some version of why he's here and now, and some hint at why he shows up in the future, and maybe that'll be interesting. But when you put him in an environment where there's already General Zod taking over large portions of, well, he's already taken over Krypton, and now he's looking at the rest of the galaxy, they say. And then you have Brainiac running around. They got those three on the map at the same time is kind of interesting. Especially in a situation where your protagonists are just a bunch of dudes, a bunch of non-powered dudes. And super, well, dudes and dudettes, however you want to say that. But a bunch of non-powered people. Speaking of dudettes, what's her name? His wife, technically. Or is supposed to be wife in the show. I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. Love the shot of her running through the battlefield fucking people up, though.
Oh, Lytazod?
Something Vex?
Oh, no. Sorry, I forgot about her. Tall girl?
Something Vex. The Vex who's still alive, right?
Yeah. I don't know her name.
I don't either. I've forgotten everybody's name from the show. Sorry, they're only like 2 syllables long, and it's been, over a year since we saw the last episode. Girl that looks like girl from Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't even know which one you're talking about. You remember that real thin girl with the lantern jaw? Probably 15 years since I've seen a Pirates. We're going down a trail that's not going to yield any results right now. I don't remember her name. Just warning you. She was real big for a minute. This does not end in, oh. Somebody will know who I'm talking about. It's been forever. I'm not just talking to you, Jason. I'm talking to the people out there. Nah. Well, I hope it goes better. You know? You guys remember Atonement? That girl. I remember the movie and not a single person involved. I don't remember that girl's name for the life of me. Oh, Keira Knightley. That's it. Oh. She reminds me of Keira Knightley. Yeah, I can see that. What the hell do you know Keira Knightley from, since you don't know her from the 2 things she's most known from? The one time I watched and destroyed Love Actually. Was she in that? I think so. I'm going to look it up, but if she's not, you can't edit it out. I don't feel like I win anything if I'm right here. I don't care. Oh, she was in that. I mean, if you look at Love Actually, you have to look over the cast of 57 people. May take a while. She was in Love Actually. She was Juliet. There.
You happy?
No.
You feel good?
No, I don't feel any great sense of victory here.
She was in The Imitation Game with Benny Batch.
That's a movie I fell asleep during and regretted.
Yeah?
Because we sat
You
down to watch
regretted
it.
watching it?
No, I fell asleep like in the first 3 minutes of the movie and woke up and my wife was watching another movie and I was like, I'm not actually going to go back and watch that. I don't have time. But was that good? Yeah, it was really good. Oh, that was all I had for it.
Well, I mean, I guess you just got to make time to go back and do it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
We know how that goes.
I know you don't do that.
No.
I don't either.
Once it's gone, it's gone.
On my honeymoon over a year ago, my wife and I, we started watching that movie with Russell Crowe and guy that ladies like. It was a shame. It was a shame black movie.
It wasn't The Good Guys. It was
No, I always want to say it's The Good Guys, and it's not. It's something else.
But I remember Ryan Gosling and him.
Yeah, there you go. That's the guy.
We did watch that. It was pretty delightful.
Yeah, we got about halfway through it and we fell asleep, and then we never watched it again. So
yeah, that's the kind of follow through I have on things.
It's an unfortunate situation. I like Shane Black movies too. The Nice Guys. That was what it was.
The Nice Guys. It was something close.
Yeah, I watched about half of that and enjoyed the hell out of it. Fell asleep.
Never made it back.
I understand. Never made it back. So it's unfortunate.
Meanwhile, I've had to watch several episodes of the stuff we cover multiple times. Just
really?
Well, because if it's at
just
a certain time in the night, after a certain time in the night, like you get to a point where like the next day I'll wake up and go, hold on now, what happened? And I'll have to go back and watch a few minutes, and then
Yeah, no, I don't do that. I look up a cursory, synopsis or something.
I always find the synopses are somehow like more distracting.
Oh, you know what's good? What I like to do is I like to go over to TV Time and just click on
through the community reactions.
Yeah, go through the community reactions and go through the little screenshots.
Yeah, that works. I normally do that just for every episode, just to make sure there's nothing I've missed. Like just go through the little because they'll just post little captions of everything that happened in the episode, every big moment, and I'll just go through and make sure I remember all the big moments.
Right,
and that will remind me of the little moments, and then I will have remembered the episode accurately, for the most part.
Or you can remind yourself of the little things so you don't have to think about the big things for a while.
No, I usually go ahead and zoom out. But I've done that. I've done that trick several times. But those synopses normally confuse me more than anything. Like I'll read it, and often they're kind of poorly written. Like surprisingly often, kind of put together scrappily. And then when you do find a good one, it's so thorough that I'm like, I don't need all that. Can we find the middle ground? I just need like a paragraph with all the high points, and I find it's easier just to click ahead a couple times in the episode.
Some news just dropped, actually.
Okay.
Apparently, they're going to start putting out little showcase DC animated shorts.
As they've done before.
Yep. They've got 5 so far.
Who's they?
They're going to have, Warner Brothers Animation is going to have Sergeant Rock, Adam Strange, Death from the Sandman, and the Phantom Stranger, and Batman Death in the Family. Sergeant Rock is going to be executive produced and directed by Bruce Timm, written by Louise Simonson and Walter Simonson and Tim Sheridan. The tale finds battle-weary Sergeant Rock thinking he has seen everything that World War II can dish out, but he's in for the surprise of his life when he is assigned to lead a company consisting of legendary monsters into battle against an unstoppable platoon of Nazi zombies. Carl Urban is doing the voice of Sergeant Rock.
Oh, that'd be nice.
We have an Adam Strange, and it is on a rugged asteroid mining colony. Few of the toiling workers are aware that their town drunk was ever anything but an interplanetary derelict. But when the miners open a fissure into the home of a horde of deadly alien insects, his true identity is exposed. He is a space adventurer, Adam Strange, whose heroic backstory is played out in flashbacks as he struggles to save the very people who have scorned him for so long. Charlie Weber of How to Get Away with Murder is doing the voice of Adam Strange. We're going to have Death, produced by Sam Liu? I don't know how you say that name.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel bad. He's been doing the animated stuff forever.
I'm going with Liu.
Okay. J.M. DeMatteis is also doing that one as he did with the Adam Strange. He's also doing the Adam Strange. But in the story, Vincent, an artist with unresolved inner demons, meets a mysterious girl who helps him come to terms with his creative legacy and eventual death. Leonardo Nam from Westworld provides that voice. And Jamie Chung of Big Hero 6 and The Gifted is the voice of Death.
Oh, cool.
And then we have Phantom Stranger with Bruce Timm again at the helm. And it was written by Ernie Altbacker of Teen Titans The Judas Contract. And it's set in the 70s. The short follows young adult Jess as she joins her friends at a party in a dilapidated mansion hosted by the mysterious Seth. When odd things begin to happen to Jess and her friends, the Phantom Stranger intervenes to save her from a dreary fate. Peter Serafinowicz of The Tick gives voice to the Phantom Stranger. And
Beautiful.
Michael Rosenbaum of Smallville and Impastor provides the voice of Seth. Natalie Lander, Gray Griffin, and Roger Craig Smith are also involved. That all sounds great. I love that DC is pushing smaller characters still.
Yeah. What venue is this getting released in, though? We're talking DC Universe?
It's going to be, it looks like it's going to be on some of the releases on home entertainment, like the movies.
Like shorts involved in the movies. Not involved in, but included with the movies.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're going to show up on DC Universe as well.
Yeah, everything is now. They're going comprehensive with it. Just fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that because I feel like these are like, it's been said before, I feel like whatever they do in animation is sort of a testing ground for what they might be doing in live action. I sort of feel like that's the same way with the Berlanti and CW stuff.
A little bit. I think they're a little bit more with some of the animated stuff when it does well. There are a lot of the higher ups, the old school people are just like, it doesn't translate. We can't trust that.
I think hopefully a lot of those people are gone. Honestly,
it's going to take a while before that crew like the same crew that still thinks, if you do TV, you just can't do movie. I think it's just going to be a while before we get rid of that clan. I think we're another several years away from that completely being gone, like that mindset gone.
Maybe so.
Streaming and stuff like this will really help, but and there was Batman Death in the Family?
Yeah, they didn't say anything about that.
I mean, do they have to really? We know the story.
Yeah.
And it could definitely be done short.
Or maybe I just didn't read it right or something. I was sure I read that.
You said there were 5, and that was the 5th one you mentioned, so.
Let's see. Oh, more information regarding Batman Death in the Family will be available in 2020.
Well, that tells us something. It is going to take a while before you see these.
So yeah, there you go, guys.
That's cool.
Yeah, I saw that. I got a little alert, and then I looked it up, and I was like, holy shit, that's awesome.
Fitting for that to show up where we'd normally put the DC animated news.
Right?
Good job.
Yo, my phone's on point. It's like DC and animated. This is all you, bud.
Right.
Like, no, thank you, phone.
Good job, buddy.
You're due for a promotion.
By that, we mean I throw you in the trash and get a better version of you.
I do want that Galaxy S10.
Yeah, I hadn't paid attention for several S's.
Oh, I don't pay attention. I just saw a trailer and went, oh, ooh.
I'm waiting for that moment, and it is yet to happen. The last time I bought a phone, I literally went to get a phone, and I told the lady there, I was like, look, so this phone that I currently have does everything I need it to do at the speed I need it to do it. I don't really need to improve any of the functions or speed part of this show. What is the cheapest thing in the store that has all of these that can do everything this phone does? And then I kind of named the specs on it. She was like, well, this one over here, pretty much. I was like, cool. What's that worth? I was like, well, 200. Okay, I can do that. It's like, as long as I don't decrease function, I'm good.
I'm the only thing I don't have any idea what the specs are on that S10. No idea. All I know is the camera looks fantastic.
I was sure that was what was selling you. Yeah.
Pro camera features. That's all I care about.
Don't care.
I'm like, will I get text messages? Yes. It's past 2003. Cool.
Will it run Facebook? Also yes, but 2010.
All right. Cool.
All right, we're good.
So do I have a miniature movie
Twitter,
camera in my pocket?
Yeah.
No? Show me something else. Show me to your bin of pro cameras, my good man.
Right.
So anyway.
I feel you.
I'm not overly active with it, but when I want to take a picture, I want it to be a damn good one.
I don't have either of those instincts in me.
I just want to capture beauty, Jason. Damn.
Nothing. The most I use that phone is at work when I need to capture like a serial number for something and store it to walk across a warehouse so I don't have to memorize 16 digits of alphanumerical randomized information.
Yeah. I think the last thing I used it for was I took a picture of myself standing next to a sign that said nipple on it.
The highest and best use, I'm sure.
I was very pleased with myself. No one who I sent it to responded.
I didn't see it. And had I seen it, I would not have said anything.
I did not send it to you because I felt judgment before I even thought about it. I was like, nope, this doesn't go to Jason.
This isn't a Jason one. It's for another group of people in my life.
I did send it to my wife. She would understand. I knew Bethany would understand and laugh.
Right.
I was just being overly silly. I really don't care about the word nipple, but the fact that I had the chance to take a picture of myself with the word nipple next to me and act at least giddy made me happy. Just like, pass that up. I'm 35. Anyway.
I'm all for silly, but I can't predict my moves. I might have just giggled and never mentioned it, and I might have sent back, "You're 35."
And that sign says nipple, my friend. That sign says nipple. I know how old I am. I feel it every day in my bones. You bastard.
Yeah.
Never mentioned a lady's age. All right. I think I'm calling this episode. You good with calling this episode?
Oh, yeah. We got plenty of reviews coming. All the seasons are ending.
They are. We love you guys. Hopefully there will be more news in the coming weeks, or maybe hopefully not because of all the reviews. I don't know how to feel. I know that they
not usually a news heavy time when shows are finishing up.
Oh no, Endgame's out there reaming the assholes of anything that's still in the theater. People. If movies were people, they would be walking around with elephant trunks hanging out of their ass. Because their intestines would be hanging out from the reaming that Endgame just gave them.
Yeah. I would like to calculate how many Brinks trucks would be necessary to contain the amount of cash this movie has made. Plenty.
I wish we could calculate the amount of school buses it would take to carry all of the intestines that had been reamed out of the movie's people.
I do not wish to calculate that.
We're going to stop now. I'm going to stop now. God help me. Over on Patreon, we have our review of Endgame. If that's enticing to you, I swear I don't talk about Endgame reaming any assholes over there.
Because this was not a visual you previously had about it.
Well, that was before it sunk the Titanic.
Right. It's lurking on Avatar right now.
It sunk Titanic in 9 weeks.
No, 9 days? 9 days.
9 days. 9 days. Sorry. It would have been impressive at 9 weeks, by the way. Yeah. 9 days. And I haven't even gotten a chance to go back and see it again. I will. Yeah, I intend to contribute more to this fund. I need a second intake of it. I felt bad because I bought the tickets mostly on like Fandango gift cards. So I feel like I didn't really contribute anything but like $3.30. I would like to know whether that counts. I don't know. Good question. I don't think it does, because I think it probably goes towards a separate purchase altogether towards gift cards. Maybe, but when I was doing balance sheets for restaurants, that showed up on my profit line. So. Oh, did it? Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Well, maybe. How different running a multi-billion-dollar movie industry is from running one single restaurant, but there's that. So probably greatly, but still, you gotta think that they would be including gift cards. My bet would be yes. But they want to be able to report as much money. My bet is there's a mechanism where they report the amount of gift card money used on a certain movie as part of their income. Just a bet. Okay. I would be happy for any industry insider to tell me differently. I'd go, okay, you know better, and move on with my day. If we have any industry, not sound as sarcastic as I did just then. I would actually mean it, but he would. But if I was betting money, I vouch for him. But if I were being asked to place a bet, I didn't mean for that to sound sarcastic. I do vouch for you. You're a sincere and kind-hearted individual. I want to be like, we will eventually end the show.
I didn't mean for that to sound sarcastic.
I think you did, Trebek. I think you did. All right. Patreon.com/DC on screen. If you want to help support us, the $5 a month option gets you Chasing Squirrels, which is more tangents, if you can imagine it. Warm-ups, Jason's pull list, Marvel reviews, and whatever the hell else I have time for / think of. And
$1
we love
just
our
plain helps
listeners.
us.
Yeah, the $1 you get a thanks. We appreciate it. Appreciate the hell out of it.
Appreciate it.
We will hold that dollar, big man.
Hard.
Till the sweat rolls down our cheeks.
Anyone who writes in, by the way, and,
sorry,
and asks for no more bear puns, I completely get it. And you're in the right.
I've been trying to figure out a black bear pun this entire time, but everything I thought of sounded racist, so I decided not to go there.
Yeah, that would take me a minute.
Yeah. You're like, what is happening? Are you just being racist? No, it's bears. Oh, right.
Yeah, that would take me a minute to contrive. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to spend my time that way.
And I don't want anyone to think I'm racist. I couldn't bear it.
No. I'm gonna edit you so hard.
No, please don't. I thought it was good.
At least backhand you when I see you tomorrow. We'll have coworkers that come up. What's that about? Nothing. We're good now. I just told them all.
Oh, man.
All right. I have a baby incoming. Walking on the door.
I hear you. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. And until next time, keep some DC on your screen.
Our opening narration was from Dan Jurgens' The History of the DC Universe, Part 3 of 10, as featured in DC 52, Week 4. It was performed by me, David C. Robertson. Intro music by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford. Michael's band, Future Elevators, could be found on Spotify or future-elevators.com. Our introduction was performed by Effie Oppelders of the fantastic podcast Stealing the Remote, which lives on SoundCloud. It can also be found on iTunes and Stitcher. We are proudly in partnership with TV Time, TV show calendar and social media site that lets you keep track of what you're watching, what your friends are watching, and where you all left off. DC On Screen is a maladjusted production. Visit maladjusted.tv for more from me and Jason, including sketch comedy, an improvised web series, vlogs, parodies, and more.